children, I hope you all are keeping safe and preparing well for ICSE. Okay. So this chapter chemical bonding is not only very important for ICSE but also for higher classes. So what chemical bonding is? Chemical bonding is nothing but a force that holds or combines or keep together two or more atoms, like if H and Cl, these hydrogen and chlorine, they are together, so some amount of force is acting between them. So this force, what hold together or what keeps together that two or more atoms is known as what? Chemical bonding. Okay. In our syllabus, we have to study mainly two types of bond. One is electrovalent bond and the other one is what? Covalent bond, right? The first one is what? Electrovalent, and the next one is what? Covalent. And another type of bonding you have to learn, that we will discuss in the later half of this video, that is coordinate bond. Okay. So electrovalent bond and covalent bond, I hope you have learned this already in class 9, that electrovalent bond is formed by the transfer of electrons, from a metallic atom to a non-metallic atom. We all know that metals generally contain 1, 2 or 3 valence electrons. What they want to donate to fill their octet, to like attain octet structure, to attain stability. Say like any metal M is losing 1 electron and becoming M plus cation. Okay. And say another non-metal, say N, is gaining 1 electron to become N minus. So from where this electron is coming? This electron is coming, the electron which the metallic atom is losing. Okay. So see, M plus and N minus will combine together to give you what? M plus N minus. This is an electrovalent compound. So what we can say is transfer of electrons from a metallic atom to a non-metallic atom. When this thing takes place, then the bonding is called electrovalent bond. On the other hand, what covalent bond is? Okay, here we have said transfer, but covalent bond is formed by sharing of electrons between two non-metallic atoms. Alright, here the electron came from the metal and went to non-metal, but here the electron will be shared. Say for hydrogen and chlorine, I am drawing electron dot structure. Later on we will be discussing more on dot structure. But see, hydrogen needs 1 electron to fulfill its duplet, whereas chlorine, what has 7 valence electron, it needs 8 electron. So hydrogen is giving his only 1 electron and chlorine is also giving his 1 electron. Okay. And what they are doing, both of them are sharing these 2 electrons. So hydrogen also has now 2 electrons and chlorine also has now 8 electrons. See, so both the atoms are stable, but here what is happening? Here the transfer did not take place. Here sharing. Suppose this hand is a metallic this hand is a non-metallic atom, this hand also a non-metallic atom, right? And I am holding this pen with both of my hands. So both the atoms, this non-metallic atom and this non-metallic atom, both the atoms are sharing the electron. So when the sharing takes place between two non-metallic atoms, we call the chemical bonding is covalent bond. But here transfer and from a metallic atom to a non-metallic atom. Understood? What are the key words from here? Okay. Now, based on this, what you must have understood by now, that in the electrovalent compounds, ions are there. See, M plus and N minus. In the electrovalent compounds, one cation and one anion, they are forming the compound, right? So something is positive here and something is negative here, the cation and anion. So if one positive and one negative are together, what happens between them? Yes, they attract each other. they attract each other with a very strong electrostatic force. Strong electrostatic attraction force works between them. Okay, because one is positive and one is negative, so they are like bound by very strong electrostatic force of attraction. Whereas, like here, both are non-metals, here ions are not there. See, electrovalent compounds are made up of ions. Okay, whereas covalent compounds, they are made up of what? Molecules. Okay, so no charge separation is there, no different cation, different anion. So here the attraction force is not so strong, because positive and negative, they attract each other very strongly. But where the ions are not there, the positive part and negative part is not there, the attraction force will not be that strong. So here what forces works between the molecules or between the particles? Weak van der Waals force of attraction. Weak van der Waals force of attraction. Understood? If you are forgetting these terms, electrostatic or van der Waals, no problem. You just say very strong attraction force here, and here you say weak force of attraction. That is enough for ICSE level. Okay. Now we have to learn if this is the fact between the attraction forces of electrovalent and covalent compounds, then what are the effects of these cause? Okay. So as here the ions are very strongly attracted to each other, most of the times they are solid in nature, right? You know NaCl is a solid, you know calcium oxide is a solid, you know magnesium chloride is also a solid, you know ammonium chloride is also a solid salt. So in room temperature their physical state is mostly solid. Okay, but here the attraction force between molecules are not so strong, so they exist in room temperature either as liquid or as gas. Okay, like oxygen. Oxygen is an covalent molecule, so oxygen is a gas. Nitrogen is a gas. Chlorine is a gas. Okay, hydrogen chloride gas. Okay, then say methane is a gas. Water is a liquid. Ammonia is a gas. So here what we can see, as the force of attraction is not that strong, they generally exist as liquid or gas. But don't forget about exceptions. Say sugar or glucose or sucrose, like C6H12O6. This is also a covalent molecule, but you know very well glucose or fructose or sugar, cane sugar, okay, C12H22O11, these all are example of solid covalent compounds. Okay, if you are asked to name the compound, you won't be writing the formula, you will be writing glucose or cane sugar. Okay, so I hope till here you have understood. So the first reason is what? Their physical state. Okay, their physical state we compare. After that we have to learn that number one, we have understood that electrovalent molecules are generally solid, whereas covalent molecules are generally liquid or gas. Now in number two, what we have to understand, as the attraction force is very strong, they have high melting point or boiling point. Okay, because you know where the attraction force is more between the ions, their melting point and boiling point will be more. Okay, because that needs more of energy to change its state. Okay, on the other hand, as the attraction force between molecules is not so strong in case of covalent molecules, they have what? Low boiling point and melting point. Okay, because normally they are liquid or gas, so in room temperature only they are liquid. So you understand that they have low melting point and low boiling point. Okay. Number three, of course they will have high density, that is why they are solid, whereas these covalent molecules, they have low density as well. Alright. Now at the fourth number we have to discuss about their solubility. Okay, like electrovalent compounds are soluble in which type of solution? Number 4 I am writing, electrovalent compounds, they are soluble in water, in bracket I am writing polar solvents. What is this polar solvent, non-polar solvent? Well, we will be discussing covalent bond in detail. I will let you know. Okay. For the time being, you just write soluble in water or soluble in polar solvents. Whereas, covalent molecules, they are soluble in non-polar solvents. Say like benzene, okay, toluene, not toluene, say benzene, etc. Alright. Covalent compounds at times they are insoluble in water also. Here understand, like polar means what? Some pole is there. Pole means what? Positive pole and negative pole. So like dissolves like. Electrovalent, they also have poles, so they are soluble in polar solvent. Like covalent molecules, they do not have separate positive charge or negative charge, so they are non-polar in nature, so they are soluble in non-polar solvents. Okay. So these are the comparison you must know about electrovalent molecule and covalent molecule. Now we have to learn one very important part of this chapter, and from where question often comes in ICSE exam, that is nothing other than electron dot structure of compounds. But don't be afraid, if you see your scope of syllabus, few compounds are specified. Like for electrovalent compound, we have 3 molecules, NaCl, MgCl2 and CaO. I will show you how you should draw the electron dot diagram for electrovalent molecules. Okay. Say like sodium's configuration we all know 2,8,1, and chlorine's also we all know 2,8,7. So we can clearly understand, if sodium donates its only one valence electron to chlorine, then both of their octet will be filled, right? So let's see how we should draw the electron dot diagram of sodium chloride. This is quite different from orbit diagrams what you must have learned in class 9. So let's see how you have to draw it. Say sodium, and here I am writing what? Chlorine. Now I will just show 1 electron of sodium here, and I will show 7 electrons of chlorine. Okay. So now what is happening? The 1 electron is going to chlorine from sodium, right? So with the help of arrow, you have to show that you have shown that 1 electron of sodium is coming to chlorine. So in the next line, what you have to write is, so after donating this 1 electron, sodium is only Na, okay, and it has developed a plus charge on it because it has donated 1 electron. Okay, simultaneously I can show you the equation also. Na minus electron gives Na plus, right? And for chlorine what happens? It accepted 1 electron to become Cl minus. So always remember, when you are drawing the electron dot diagram of electrovalent compounds, anions, all valence electron you must be showing. Like for sodium ion, we did not show any valence electron after it has donated its electron. Okay, but now when we are drawing the chlorine atom, okay, we have to show all the electrons. See, this electron has come here now, that is why I have given the dot. Okay, and 7 crosses where 7 original electron of chlorine. Understood? So see, for sodium we did not show any valence electron, but for chlorine we have to show the valence electron, because anions valence electron you must be showing for electrovalent molecules electron dot diagram. And this arrow is also a must, because you have to show the transfer of electrons. Okay, and now we should not miss that chlorine has also developed the minus charge. So this is what electron dot diagram is of NaCl molecule. So I hope you have copied this in your notebook. Okay, if the question comes in ICSE, you have to draw exactly like this. Alright, so after this I will be showing you the electron dot diagram of MgCl2. Chlorine is same. Okay, here also chlorine, here also chlorine. So I am just writing for magnesium. Now magnesium, you know 2, 8, 2. Okay, magnesium lost 2 electron to become Mg2 plus, right? And if magnesium, if the metallic atom is donating 2 electron, but 1 chlorine atom can accept only 1. So 2 chlorine atom will be accepting these 2 electrons, right? So now from here, I will show you the electron dot diagram of MgCl2. As 2 Cl are there, I will be writing 2 Cl in both the sides of magnesium. Now I will be showing you the electrons of magnesium and now 7 electrons of chlorine. See, like whenever I draw the electrons, I want to distribute it evenly. That means, see, like if you consider whatever atom you are writing is a square, so you have two electrons, you can give 2 electrons in each side. See, 2, 2, 2 and here 1, 2, 2, 2, here 1, right? This looks good, and if for octet complete you need to give 8 electrons, so you can evenly distribute 2 electrons in each side, okay? So now like transfer of electron you have to show. So I am showing this electron has gone here and this electron has gone here, right? So now we will be writing Mg, and Mg has developed double positive charge. Now we have to write chlorine. What I have said, for anion, what is anion? Chlorine only. For chlorine, you have to show all the valence electrons. So we will be showing for only 1 chlorine. So see, like 1 electron has come for magnesium for each chlorine and 7 electrons of in its own. Alright. So this is what we have drawn for 1 chlorine, right? You have to give minus here and you can give 2 here. Now, if anybody wants to say, sir, do we need to give the 2 here only? No. You can give the 2 here also, like in this way. Mg2 plus 2. Here I am writing Cl. Both are correct. You can give the 2 here also, you can give the 2 here also. So I hope you understood the electron dot diagram of MgCl2 as well. Alright. Last but not least, we will be now doing the electron dot diagram of calcium oxide. Okay, so let's see what happens for calcium oxide. You all know calcium has an electronic configuration of 2, 8, 8, 2 and oxygen is what? 2, 6. So if you observe these 2 electronic configuration, what you must have understood by now, that if oxygen gains these 2 electrons from calcium, then calcium's octet is also complete, oxygen's octet is also complete, okay. So Ca minus 2 electron will give Ca2 plus, whereas oxygen will gain 2 electrons to become O2 minus. Now let's see how to draw this. Ca and here I am drawing O, right? Now we will show the valence electrons in the first step. So here we have 2, here we have 6. So I am writing 6 electrons for oxygen and 2 electrons with the help of dot in calcium. You must be observing that whenever I am drawing the electrons, for 1 atom I am giving dot, for 1 atom I am giving cross. That is to separate that these dot electrons mean calciums, the electron from the metal, and the cross electron means like the electron of the non-metal. Okay. So now as this is a electrovalent compound, how to understand this is an electrovalent compound? Suppose now I am teaching you, I am telling you from before only calcium oxide is an electrovalent molecule. But if in exam comes, they won't be telling you in the question that draw the electron dot diagram of electrovalent molecule calcium oxide. But you have to remember, you have to understand. If you forget also, what my clue is? 1 metal, 1 non-metal. So what kind of bond is formed between metal and non-metal? Electrovalent. So if 2 non-metals are given, say ammonia. Ammonia is a compound of nitrogen and hydrogen. Both are non-metals. So where both are non-metals, it is covalent. Where 1 metal is there, it is electrovalent. Okay. So as calcium is there, so it is certainly electrovalent. So we have to show the transfer of electrons by giving this arrow. So these two electrons will be transferred to like oxygen. So now we have to write the second step. So calcium, this has like developed double positive charge, whereas oxygen we will be showing the electrons. See, 2 dot I have given because these 2 electrons are of calcium and these 6 electrons are oxygen's own original electrons. So this is 2 minus and our electron dot diagram is done. Only 2 things you must be remembering: the arrow to be given to show the transfer, and anions, all valence electrons you must be showing. So that's all from the electron dot diagram of electrovalent molecules. Now we have to learn the electron dot diagram of covalent molecules. Okay, if you observe your syllabus, the scope of syllabus for covalent molecule also, few molecules are specified: H2, N2, O2, methane, then carbon tetrachloride, okay, HCl, ammonia, etc. These are given. You need to practice from there only because they will be asking from here. So now let's see. We'll start with a hydrogen. All know the electronic configuration of hydrogen is only one electron, right? So this hydrogen has one electron, this hydrogen has also one electron. Now see, now both the electrons I have given dot, same, because this electron is also hydrogen, this electron is also hydrogen. So this is the first step. In the second step, what you will be writing in this way. Okay, so that means what? Like these 2 electrons, like this hydrogen also, these 2 electrons are taken by this hydrogen also. Both the hydrogen atoms are sharing one electron, and as a result, both of their duplet is completed, right? So this is the electron dot diagram of hydrogen molecule, and this leads to the formation of single covalent bond. So that's all the electron dot diagram of hydrogen. Okay, now quickly I will show you the electron dot diagram of oxygen. You all know the electronic configuration of oxygen 2,6, right? So I am writing here 1O, here 1O. I am giving cross this time. So see, 6 electrons I have drawn for each of the oxygen, and in both the cases I have given cross because all the electrons are of oxygen, right? So these oxygen atoms need also 2, this oxygen atom also need 2. So what they have decided between them, okay, you need 2, I need 2, so you also give 2, I also will give 2, and we will share, right? So what they are doing is, see, these 2 is shared with them and these 2 is also shared with this oxygen. So now you can see that both the oxygen atom has 8 electrons. For this oxygen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For this oxygen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So both of their octet is completed, and this leads to the formation of a double covalent bond. Okay, always remember 2 electrons make one covalent bond. Suppose this hand is 1 electron, this hand is 1 electron, and I am holding one pen. So 2 electrons make a single covalent bond. Here 4 electrons were there, so it has made 2 covalent bond, double covalent bond. Now I will quickly show you for nitrogen. Okay, we all know the configuration of nitrogen 2,5. So it needs 3 electrons, right? So I am drawing the electrons of nitrogen. Now this time I am using the dot. So see, 5 electrons I have drawn for each of the nitrogen atom. Now as the deficit is how much now? 8 minus 5 is 3. So both the atoms need 3 electrons. So what they will do is, they will share their 3 electrons in this fashion, and now you can see that their octet is complete. Right? If you are giving dot, you have to give dot only. You cannot change it to cross. So now you all tell me, how many bonds will be formed between 2 nitrogen atoms? I told you just now, 2 electrons form one bond, one covalent bond. So here 6 are there. So 6 will be formed 3 covalent bond, right? And here like 2 electrons will be remaining on each of these nitrogen atom. Here also I could be showing that these 4 electrons are remaining on oxygen. Understood? Understood the electronic configuration of like electron dot structure of nitrogen atom. You can give the arrow to show the step. Okay. The third step is not so important for electron dot diagram, but the first 2 steps are must. Okay. Now I will be showing you the electron dot diagram of say methane. Okay. Now I will be showing it for methane. Methane is the compound of carbon and hydrogen. Hydrogen's electronic configuration 1 and carbon is 2, 4, right? So, and you have seen that there are 4 hydrogen atoms that combine with carbon. What is the reason? Because the carbons, to fulfill its octet, 4 more electrons are required, right? And from 1 hydrogen it can get only 1, right? So it needs 4. Suppose you want to have like you want to buy 1000 rasgullas, okay, but one shop can give you only 100, so you have to buy it from 10 shops, right? Similarly, this carbon needs 4 electrons, but from 1 hydrogen it can get only 1, so it will get 4 electrons from how many hydrogen? 4 hydrogens. So without wasting any more time, I am just placing 4 hydrogen in 4 side of carbon. Alright. Now we have to show 1 electron of hydrogen. I have shown 1 electron of hydrogen and 4 valence electrons of carbon also I have shown. Now in the next step what is happening, that they are sharing, where hydrogens are taking 1 electron and carbon is taking like 4 electrons from 4 hydrogen. So in the next step what we will write is 1 electron from hydrogen, 1 electron from carbon, 1 electron from hydrogen and 1 electron from carbon. Okay. Now you see, like carbon have its octet completed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and all the hydrogen atoms have 2 valence electrons, so their duplet is also completed. Okay. So 4 single covalent bond are formed in this way. So now you understand why the structure of methane is like this. Okay. So after I have shown you the electron dot diagram of methane, I will be showing you the electron dot diagram of hydrogen chloride gas. Okay. So I hope you have copied this one. You can see it in book also, but check how I am doing, because this is the perfect procedure and ICSE awards for this type of structure only. Alright. So now we will be doing it for whom? Hydrogen chloride. We all know hydrogen has 1 valence electron and chlorine has 2, 7. So we must have understood chlorines need 1, hydrogen also needs 1. So I am drawing here hydrogen with 1 electron and chlorine with 7 electron drawn. Now in the next step what will happen? This electron from hydrogen and this electron from chlorine, that these 2 electrons are being shared by both the atom. See, this electron is of hydrogen, this electron of the chlorine, but both the electrons are being shared by both of these atoms. So chlorine has its octet completed and hydrogen has its duplet completed. Both of them are stable, both of them are happy, and they are having a grand party by forming a single covalent bond. What you must not forget is 3 pairs of electron haven't taken part in the bond formation. They will be remaining like that. Okay. We have a special term for it. We call them lone pair of electron. After just completing covalent molecule, I will be showing you what is lone pair of electron. So I hope you have understood the electron dot diagram of hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, methane, hydrogen chloride. Okay. Now I will be showing you the last electron dot diagram of covalent molecule, that is nothing but carbon tetrachloride. Okay. So carbon tetrachloride is the compound of carbon and chlorine. So chlorine has 2, 8, 7, whereas carbon has 2, 4. Now this electron dot diagram will be a little big because you have 4 chlorine. Okay. So at first I am placing the central atom, that is carbon, and 4 chlorine at the 4 sides of this carbon atom. Now for each of the chlorine atom, we have to show how many electrons? 7 electrons, because that is the number of valence electrons. So I am showing 7 here, here also 7, done, here also 7, and here also 7, right? So all chlorine 7 electrons I have shown. Now I have to show the electrons of carbon. I hope you are observing. For chlorine atom, if I am giving cross, for carbon atom, carbon electron, I am giving dot to differentiate that which electron is of what atom, right? Now in the next step, what will happen? You have to bring the atoms closer. Okay, carbon is the central atom. All the side it has 1 electron from its own and 1 electron it has taken from chlorine. So the crosses were from chlorine and the dot were of carbon. Now we have to place 4 chlorine at the 4 sides of this carbon, and we have to fill up chlorine's electrons as well. See, chlorine's also electron I have filled. Now you must be seeing that all atoms have their octet completed, and at the last step what we can do is we can show it by giving the bond sign, and with each of the chlorine there are 3 pairs of lone pair electron, right? So I hope you understood the electron dot diagram of these covalent molecules. Okay, so these are the electron dot diagram of covalent molecules. You must be practicing very nicely. If you do not practice them, you will not be doing it so smoothly like I am doing. So every day, 1-2 compounds electron dot diagram you have to practice. I hope you remember the basic difference between electrovalent and covalent. For covalent molecule, we are showing the valence electron for both the atoms, but for electrovalent molecule, we are showing the for the anions valence electrons we are showing. Remember, and one more thing, see here in this structure we are not showing any arrow to show the transfer, because here sharing of electron is taking place. But here you must have remembered, from Na to Cl we have shown 1 arrow, from calcium to oxygen we have shown 2 arrows, right? So these are the things you must be careful about, okay? Because this is where children often do mistake. Alright. After this, we have to learn a very important part, that is polar covalent molecule and non-polar covalent molecule. Okay. So what is polar covalent molecule and what is non-polar covalent molecule? Please understand my language very carefully now. If the difference between electronegativity, if the difference between electronegativity of two atoms that are forming the covalent bond is high, then it's polar covalent bond. What I said, the difference between electronegativity is high, right? The difference between electronegativity of two atoms that are forming the covalent bond is high, then it's polar covalent bond. Okay, let me give you a small example of hydrogen chloride. Hydrogen is here in the periodic table in group 1 and chlorine is at group 17, right? So you know that electronegativity increases that side, right? So the difference between electronegativity of hydrogen and chlorine is very high, right? The difference is more. If the electronegativity of hydrogen is say 1, then the electronegativity of chlorine it may be 100. So if the difference between their electronegativity is more, the difference between electronegativity is very high, then what happens? Partial charge develops. What is this partial charge? they are actually like sharing of electron is taking place, right, by a single covalent bond. But what happen is, like, bond means what? Two electrons are there in one single covalent bond, and you know the definition of electronegativity also. Electronegativity is what? The tendency to attract the shared pair of electrons towards itself. So if chlorine has high electronegativity, what does it mean? It is attracting the electron pair towards itself. Hydrogen has given one electron, chlorine has given one electron, but chlorine is attracting the electron pair towards itself. So if chlorine attracts the electron pair towards itself, the density of electron will be more on chlorine and the density of electron will be less on hydrogen. So if the density of electron is more in chlorine, it will develop slightly negative charge, whereas hydrogen will develop slightly positive charge. So this is the example of polar covalent compound. I can give you one more example. Say water. Oxygen is also very electronegative, right? So oxygen will also attract the shared pair of electrons towards itself. So oxygen will also develop some negative charge, whereas these hydrogens will develop some positive charge. So that is why we call this is polar solvent, where I was comparing between electrovalent and covalent molecule. I told you that electrovalent compounds, they are soluble in polar solvent. So what are polar solvents? Where charge separation takes place. Okay, partial charge separation. Understood? So from here, what are the polar covalent compounds? I am just marking. This is ammonia is polar, water is polar, HCl is polar, the rest are non-polar. Okay. If the bond is formed between two nitrogen, both of their electronegativity is same, right? Both are atoms of nitrogen. So they will balance, the force will be balanced. None of them will be pulling the electron toward itself. So here no charge separation takes place. So N2, H2, O2, they are what? Non-polar. Even methane and carbon tetrachloride, they are also non-polar. Okay, I hope you understood till here. Now we will discuss one very important topic, that is lone pair of electrons and coordinate bonding. Okay, lone pair of electrons, lone pair or lone pair. Okay, lone pair. What is the lone pair of electrons? Pair of electrons that are not yet shared or that do not take part in bond formation. Alright, like I was showing you the electron dot diagram of hydrogen chloride, I shown you that 3 pairs of electron on the chlorine which are remaining like that. So here one electron only took part in bond formation, but these 3 pairs of electrons, they haven't taken part in bond formation. So they are known as what? Lone pair of electrons. This is one lone pair, this is one lone pair, this is one lone pair. I am giving you more example where you will get to see the lone pair of electrons. Say in oxygen molecule. Okay, I have shown you there are two pairs of lone pair of electrons for each of the oxygen. Okay, so now if I ask you one question, how many lone pairs of electron is present in one O2 molecule? How many lone pairs of electron are present in one O2 molecule? And suppose I am giving you the option 2, 4, 8 and D say none of these. What will be the answer? You may say with one oxygen 2, so 2. Somebody may say like total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. No. But see, I am asking how many lone pairs. So in oxygen O2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the correct answer will be there are 4 lone pairs of electron in the O2 molecule. I am giving you one more example of nitrogen. You have seen this was the electron dot diagram of nitrogen. So there are 2 lone pairs of electron in one N2 molecule. Okay. Alright. So I hope you understood what is the lone pair of electrons, and because of this lone pair of electrons, one special type of bond is formed, that is what? Coordinate bond. coordinate bond. Coordinate bond is what? When the bond is formed by the electrons coming from one atom. Okay. Coordinate bond is what? Coordinate bond is also a special type of covalent bond. In covalent bond, what we have seen that like one electron coming from one atom, but here in the coordinate bond, what will happen? Both the electrons will come from one atom. Here in coordinate bond, you have two very important ions, NH4 plus and H3O plus. This is ammonium and this is what? Hydronium. Every year any of these comes, okay, so you need to practice it almost every day till you master this, okay. So let's understand the electron dot diagram of NH4 plus and H3O plus, and then the concept of covalent bonding will be better, okay. And you need to learn the definition also. What is the definition I have said that coordinate bond is the special type of covalent bond which is formed by the electrons where both the electrons come from only one atom. Okay, let's understand. So before we start the electron dot diagram of ammonium or hydronium ion, first I will do it for hydronium, H3O plus. Okay, first I will do it for H3O plus. So before we do H3O plus, let's understand how H3O plus is formed. You all know water, H2O. If it gains one hydrogen ion, then it gives H3O plus. That is why acids they give out hydronium ion in aqueous solution, because acids always donate H plus. So this H plus combine with H2O to give H3O plus. If you are asked show the electron dot diagram of the hydronium ion, okay, then what will you do? I am drawing one hydrogen here, one oxygen here, and one hydrogen here, and one hydrogen here also. Say this is H plus, okay, and these hydrogens will have one electron, but as this is H plus, this hydrogen will have no electron, right? And you all know oxygen has 6 electrons, so I have drawn 6 electrons. Now in the next step, what will I draw is, first I will draw the central atom, and in both the sides where hydrogens are there, I will be drawing one electron of oxygen and one electron of hydrogen, and this side no hydrogen electrons, so in that way, and this side also one electron of oxygen and one electron of hydrogen. So here is, now you have seen we have written almost everything correctly, but we have not given the plus sign, the ion. So we have to put a second bracket and we have to give the plus here, alright. And then in the last step you may show, and now see here for this bond, for this part, both the electrons came from oxygen, right? If you see the structure of water, there are two lone pair of electrons, right? But these lone pair of electrons are shared with this H plus also, and this both the electrons are coming from oxygen. So this is the bond is what? Coordinate bond. And as single covalent bond we show by just only a line, coordinate bond we show with the help of an arrow. So I hope you understood what I tried to mean by saying that where both the electrons come from the single atom. So this is the electron dot diagram of hydronium ion. You have to practice it very nicely, okay? You have to learn the definition of lone pair of electrons. You have to learn the definition of coordinate bond, because these all are very important. Questions come, okay? So I hope you understood the electron dot diagram of hydronium ion. At last, I will be showing you the electron dot diagram of ammonium ion. Okay, let's see how ammonium ion is formed. Okay, like the way hydronium ion formed, ammonium ion also formed by addition of H plus in ammonia. Okay, so NH3 plus H plus gives what? Ammonium NH4 plus. So what we have to do? We will be drawing first 3 hydrogen and 1 nitrogen. We will be drawing 1 electron for 1 hydrogen atom, and we will be drawing 5 electrons for nitrogen atom. See, this is what we do when we are asked to draw the electron dot diagram of only ammonia. But here you are drawing of ammonium. So another H plus is also here. But this H plus has no electron in it. So in the next step, what will I do? I will bring all the atoms closer. I will make the structure compact to show the sharing. Okay. So here one electron from nitrogen, one electron from hydrogen. This side also one electron from nitrogen, one electron from hydrogen. This side also one from nitrogen, one of hydrogen. But this side both are nitrogen's electron, and in all the sides there are one H. Okay. But see, again the H plus we have not given here. So how we have to give? By giving a bracket and this way. Now in the next step what will happen? In these three sides there are single covalent bond. But see, here both the electrons are coming from nitrogen. So here it will be the coordinate bond, and this is the electron dot diagram of ammonium. Okay. Like I was telling you previously, in this electron dot diagram, this third part, the third structure, they are optional. This is also optional. Okay. But these first two steps are must. Understood? I hope you have copied these all diagrams very nicely. If you have any doubt in like understanding this, you may contact me personally. Alright. So that's all from the chapter chemical bonding in ICSE level. I hope you have really enjoyed it and learnt it nicely, and you will practice it more. Thank you.